very good evening and welcome to the news tonight, where we get you the day's top stories from India and across the world. I'm Tracy Shilshi, and in the next 30 minutes here on Rajya Sabha TV, I'll be getting you all the details of the stories. But first, the headlines. Tension grips the NIT campus in Srinagar after students complain of a sense of insecurity following a police lathi charge. HRD Ministry sends a 2-member team on a fact-finding mission. Amid contradictory reports from Pakistan over the Pathankot airbase attack probe, India says terrorism remains the focal point in the relationship between the two countries. RBI warns against drawing premature conclusions on the Panama Papers leak. The bank says it will have to examine evidence to find out what is legitimate. Maharashtra is reeling under drought, says the High Court, observes that the Indian Premier League matches should be shifted elsewhere to prevent wastage of water. And in a blow to Republican contender Donald Trump, Ted Cruz wins the Wisconsin Republican primary. On the Democrat side, Bernie Sanders inflicts a tough loss on frontrunner Hillary Clinton. Let's start with the latest from Srinagar. Union Education Minister Smriti Irani today assured students of the National Institute of Technology that examinations will be conducted in a secure environment. This after student protesters were lathi-charged by police during clashes on Tuesday evening. The ministry also sent 2 officials to allay the concerns of the students.
A tiff between students on the campus, a test for the governments in the state and the centre. On Wednesday, the HRD Ministry sent a 2-member team on a fact-finding to the National Institute of Technology in Kashmir. This was over complaints of tension in the campus after local students burst crackers to celebrate the loss of the Indian cricket team in the semi-final match against the West Indies.
स्टूडेंट्स की मांग के ऊपर 2 कंपनीज सीआरपीएफ और 3 कंपनीज जो हैं एसएसबी की अंदर डिप्लॉयड हैं। जम्मू कश्मीर की पुलिस गेट के बाहर है। जम्मू कश्मीर के सीनियर ऑफिसर्स हैं, एसपी रैंक के जो हैं वहां पर परमानेंटली वहां स्टेशनड है और सारी सिचुएशन को मॉनिटर कर। एचआरडी का जो डायरेक्टर है वो अभी तक का श्रीनगर लैंड कर जाएगा और वो बच्चों को मिलेगा और जो एग्जाम को पोस्टपोनमेंट करने की बात है या बाकी उनके जो इश्यूज हैं उसको जो है एड्रेस करेंगे।
Non-local students who protested against this were beaten up. They also alleged that the police resorted to bait and charge while they were trying to stage a protest march outside the campus on Tuesday. The paramilitary Central Reserve Police Force was deployed soon after this.
मैंने स्वयं महबूबा मुफ्ती जी से बात की है। उन्होंने न सिर्फ इस बात से मुझे आश्वस्त करवाया है कि विद्यार्थी वहां सुरक्षित हैं, बल्कि साथ ही डिवीजन लेवल पर वहां पर उन्होंने इंक्वायरी भी शुरू की कि इस प्रकार की घटना वहां कैसे हुई।
My strong belief is that there should not be in any case use of force against students. At the same time, I would also appeal to the students to stay calm and not allow the vested elements to try to fish in troubled waters and seek political mileage out of it. Meanwhile, the HRD ministry is also sending a team.
Non-local students want examinations postponed following their arrest. They're also demanding assessment by non-local faculty, besides flying the national flag at the campus. Jammu and Kashmir has its own flag on official buildings.
थोड़ा सेंसिटिव मामला है और सेंसिटिव स्टेट है, इसलिए थोड़ा नाजुक तरीका से व्यवहार करके इसको सॉर्ट आउट करने के लिए प्रयास करना चाहिए।
Reports said that Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj were in constant touch with Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti.
सरकार वहाँ जांच करे उसमें, और जो दोषी पाए जाते हैं जो पुलिसकर्मी, उन्होंने किस आधार पर लाठीचार्ज किया, छात्र घायल भी हुए हैं, छात्रों का अविलंब उपचार हो, और जो दोषी पाए जाते हैं पुलिसकर्मी उनको सरकार अविलंब तत्काल निलंबन करे उनका।
The NIT has over 2,000 students and 400 academic staff members. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, the Hyderabad Central University today witnessed massive protests by students demanding the resignation of the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Appa Rao. Police arrested scores of protesters who were trying to forcefully enter the university. There is currently a ban on the entry of activists, media and others in the campus. The students gathered outside the campus as part of a call for Chalo HCU given by the Joint Action Committee for Social Justice of the HCU. Protesters raised slogans against Rao and held banners asking him to leave the campus. Meanwhile, the controller of examinations has also walked out of the academic council over differences of opinion. The vice-chancellor rejoined office in March, 2 months after he went on leave following Rohit Vemula's suicide. HCO is on the boil since January this year after the Dalit research scholar committed suicide in a hostel room of the university. We'll keep an eye out on developments there. Meanwhile, in more news, amid all the developments over the Pathankot airbase attack and the probe, in fact, between India and Pakistan, the Indian Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar has asserted that terrorism remained the focal point in the relationship between the two countries. He also said that it will continue that way until the issue is addressed effectively. He also said that this was one of the biggest changes in the relationship between the two sides, the centrality of addressing the issue of terrorism. Also saying that given the challenges of bilateral ties, India had fared well in keeping the focus firmly on terrorism.
One change has been the centrality of addressing the issue of terrorism to the dialogue, the interactions between the two nations. That was reflected when the two prime ministers met in Ufa. It was, underlined when the two NSAs met in Bangkok. If you see in a sense, the reconstituted dialogue that we have, the comprehensive bilateral dialogue, the salience of terrorism, because this is not a point of argumentation. It's taking into account what is happening on the ground.
And now let's take you through some more national news updates in Nationwide. The NIA today said that they suspected a personal angle in the murder of their officer Tanzil Ahmed, who was gunned down by two motorcyclists on Sunday. Two unidentified persons seen in a video footage were ruled out as suspects in the murder case. The Delhi High Court today refused interim protection to Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh's two children. Both had challenged the Enforcement Directorate's provisional attachment of some of their assets in a money laundering case. Kolkata police today arrested Ranajit Bhattacharjee, the head of the IVRCL's East India operations. The company is responsible for the construction of the flyover that collapsed last week in Kolkata. Bhattacharjee was hospitalized soon after the collapse. He was taken to Kolkata police headquarters at Lal Bazar today. A special court sentenced to life imprisonment 3 convicts in the 2002-03 Mumbai blast cases. The 3 are prime accused Muzammil Ansari and his associates Farhan Khot and Wahid Ansari. Joining the protests by jewelers, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi today termed the 1% excise duty on non-silver jewellery items an assassination attempt, quote-unquote, on traders. Rahul claimed that the BJP government was attempting to benefit big industrialists. And now let's get you all the election-related news in our special segment, Verdict 2016. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari addressed a rally in Borkhetri district of Assam today, accusing the Congress of indulging in large-scale corruption. He claimed that the party was not interested in ensuring development, but only in promoting its family members.
चुनाव के समय गरीबी हटाओ की बात करने वाली कांग्रेस पार्टी ने 68 साल में देश की जनता के साथ, आसाम की जनता के साथ क्या किया है? बेईमानी और विश्वासघात के सिवा कुछ नहीं किया। 15 साल तरुण गोगोई जी मुख्यमंत्री थे, आज यहाँ रोड नहीं है।
Meanwhile, former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh addressed a rally in Guwahati. He accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi of stopping all developmental schemes launched by the Congress.
खोखली बातों की बजाय हमेशा ठोस काम में भरोसा रखा। इसने गरीबों और कमजोर वर्गों के लिए काम करने की अनथक कोशिशें की। इस लक्ष्य को हासिल करने के लिए हम कई योजनाएं और कानून लेकर आए। एनडीए की सरकार इन्हीं योजनाओं के नाम बदलकर इन्हें अपनी योजना के तौर पर बताने की कोशिश कर रही है।
Meanwhile, let's head on to Kerala, where Chief Minister Umin Chandi today expressed confidence that he will return to power. Speaking to our correspondent Ravindra Shiran, Chandi denied that there was any infighting within the party.
The Congress party is united in the state.
Definitely. Last 5 years, UDF government functioned with narrow majority.
There are also some allegations of corruption which has leveled against the government. Would you like to speak on that also?
Allegations are allegations.
Right.
But if corruption is there, we have to take a very urgent step. Very serious action is necessary. But in Kerala, irrespective of the facts and reality, raising allegations after allegations.
This is the brainchild of this government that you are going towards the prohibition, complete prohibition within a decade. And if the government will come, LDF is saying if they come into power, they will reconsider the decision. What is your take on this?
Our policy is very clear. So even before the government came to power, in our manifesto, we have announced, see, we will reduce the availability of hard liquor in Kerala by stages. And finally, within 10 years, we have to implement the total prohibition policy.
Sir, farmers are in very distress. Are you thinking that there should be a plan, the state government or the center should come with a...
For rubber, we have implemented a model project for small farmers. See that the rubber price went up to rupees 250 per kilo. And now it is come down to 100, around 100.
Do you think with these achievements in your hand, this time the UDF under your leadership will break the old tradition of rotation every 5 years of the government?
Definitely. If the people wants this government to continue, they feel the difference between LDF and UDF. We faced a lot of allegations, lot of controversies, and a number of big agitations. We will face it in a simple manner, in a democratic manner. At the same time, we work for the state.
Without a quick break here, but still ahead, the US is looking for stronger and closer relations with India, says Defense Secretary Ash Carter ahead of his 3-day visit to India.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries on Rajya Sabha television.
welcome back. Let's get you now the latest on the Panama Papers update. In fact, the Reserve Bank today cautioned against jumping on conclusions on the Panama Papers leak. It said that the evidence needs to be examined to find out what is legitimate or not. The Panama Papers have disclosed nearly 500 Indians, including celebrities and industrialists, who have allegedly stashed money in offshore entities in Panama. The RBI Deputy Governor, S.S. Mundra, said that there will be all kinds of cases, but only the evidence will determine whether the money deposited in the tax haven is legal or illegal. Now, even as the fallout of that leak continues worldwide, US President Barack Obama has called for international tax reforms. Meanwhile, France has once again blacklisted Panama as an uncooperative tax haven. The Panama revelations, though, are prompting public backlash, official investigations, and it has so far claimed at least one high-profile resignation, that of Iceland's Prime Minister.
We've had another reminder in this big dump of data coming out of Panama that tax avoidance is a big global problem. It's not that they're breaking the laws, it's that the laws are so poorly designed that they allow people, if they've got enough lawyers and enough accountants, to wiggle out of responsibilities that ordinary citizens are having to abide by.
US President Barack Obama has called for international tax reforms in the wake of the Panama Papers leak. Obama's remarks come at a time when the leak has created uproar around the world. US Justice Department is examining the leaked documents, while several other countries are also investigating possible financial wrongdoing by the rich and powerful. The row claimed its first victim on Tuesday, Iceland's Prime Minister Sigmundur David Gunnlaugsson, who resigned amid a row over his family's offshore investments. On Wednesday, France put Panama back on the tax haven blacklist. However, Panama is attempting to fight its reputation, saying it could respond with similar measures against France or any other countries that follows France's lead.
Capacité de respecter des grands principes internationaux. Il a voulu nous le faire croire. Il a pu obtenir ainsi qu'il ne soit plus inscrit sur la liste noire des paradis fiscaux. Ceci ne sera plus possible et la France a décidé
sobre las sociedades offshore para atacar los servicios financieros del país, desconociendo abiertamente las reformas sin precedentes que está llevando a cabo el gobierno. No vamos a aceptar que se use a Panamá como chivo expiatorio de las acciones.
Meanwhile, the Panamanian law firm that is at the center of the data leak says it is a victim of a hack. Denying the leak was an insider's job, Mossack Fonseca has filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office.
Fuera de contexto. Por ejemplo, el de Brasil es un correo del 2005 y creo que era que estábamos mudándonos al sistema digital en aquel momento. Estábamos mudando al sistema digital y ellos tenían un montón de papeles en la oficina y alguien dijo que había que
11 million documents held by Mossack Fonseca were passed to a German newspaper, which then shared them with the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. They show how the company has helped clients launder money, dodge sanctions, and evade tax. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, the US wants to develop closer and stronger military ties with India. US Defense Secretary Ashton Carter also asserted that his proposed visit to India is expected to set new milestones in bilateral ties. Carter said that the US was trying to work with India on defense technology and trade initiative, as India wants to improve the technical capabilities of its defense industry and also its defense capabilities. He said India wants to be a co-developer and a co-producer, which was in line with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Make in India initiative. Now, Carter was speaking at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, a top American think tank. He also hinted at several announcements when he visits India. He also said that the US-India have a lot in common, including a democratic form of government and a strong commitment to individual freedom. And staying with the US, Ted Cruz won the Wisconsin Republican primary on Tuesday, boosting his effort to blunt Donald Trump and move the party closer to a historic contested convention. Trump's loss comes after a rocky week for the campaign, particularly with female voters. Meanwhile, on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders inflicted a tough loss on frontrunner Hillary Clinton.
Ted Cruz is calling it the turning point in the US presidential race. On Tuesday, he decisively won the Wisconsin Republican primary, complicating frontrunner Donald Trump's path to the nomination. Cruz's win comes at a time when Trump has lost his top spot in some polls and faces a difficult path to securing the needed delegates.
As a result of the people of Wisconsin defying the media, defying the pundits, I am more and more convinced that our campaign is going to earn the 1,237 delegates needed to win the Republican nomination. And together, we will beat Hillary Clinton in November.
On the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders also won the Wisconsin primary, inflicting a tough loss on frontrunner Hillary Clinton. With this, the Vermont senator raked up his 6th win of the past 7 state contests. However, as delegates are awarded proportionally, he will not gain a significant advantage over Clinton. Hillary Clinton tweeted congratulations to Sanders.
With our victory tonight in Wisconsin, we have now won 7 out of 8 of the last caucuses and primaries. And we have won almost all of them with overwhelming landslide numbers.
After the Wisconsin primary, the campaign now enters a stretch of U.S. states in the Northeast. These are the states that favor Trump, including his own delegate-rich state of New York that votes on 19th of April. But it is unclear if those states will provide him the number of delegates he needs to win the convention. For the Democrats, both Hillary Clinton and Sanders are chasing their magic number of 2,383 delegates. Clinton currently has 1,742, while Sanders has 1,051. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's get you some more international news updates in Global Buzz. The parliament in South Africa has voted not to impeach President Jacob Zuma despite a court ruling against him. The governing African National Congress defeated the opposition-sponsored motion, saying that Zuma was not guilty of serious misconduct. Last week, South Africa's highest court said that he breached the constitution by failing to repay public money used to upgrade his private home. Myanmar's parliament today passed a bill that gives Aung San Suu Kyi a role similar to that of the Prime Minister. The lower house passed the bill to create the post of state councillor, which now requires only presidential approval to become a law. However, unelected military representatives holding a quarter of the parliamentary seats boycotted that vote, calling the bill unconstitutional. US authorities on Tuesday announced that they busted a thriving education and foreign workers visa scam by setting up a phony university to entrap operators. Nearly 1,000 students, mainly from India and China, will return home following this revelation. The US Justice Department said 21 brokers, recruiters and employers from across America have been arrested by federal agents. Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff's battle to remain in power entered a crucial phase on Wednesday as lawmakers heard a motion on whether there are grounds to impeach her. A congressional committee will hear lawmaker Javier Arantes to present his recommendation on whether Congress should vote to open an impeachment trial. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe brushed off comments by Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump that Tokyo should be left to defend itself. In an interview to the Wall Street Journal, Abe said that US military bases remain essential to Japan's security. He also vowed to boost Japan's military. However, he sidestepped a question on whether Japan would play a bigger role on its defense, saying that Tokyo would strengthen its relationship with Washington. And now let's head on to some cricket news. And the Bombay High Court today pulled up the BCCI and the cricket bodies of Maharashtra and Mumbai over wastage of water for the upcoming IPL matches. The High Court said that it was best to shift the matches out of Maharashtra when the state is reeling under a severe drought, preferably to a place where there is no water crisis. Taking a severe view of the situation, the court asked the cricket body how it could waste water like this and if the IPL matches were more important than the people of the state. The court termed the wastage of water as criminal at a time when Maharashtra was suffering a huge crisis. Well, the PIL has challenged the use of nearly 60,000 litres of water to maintain pitches at 3 stadiums in the state which will hold those IPL matches. The IPL tournament is set to begin from the 9th of April with the first match to be played, in fact, in Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium. A total of 20 matches will be played in Mumbai, Pune and Nagpur. The finals of the tournament, scheduled on the 29th of May, will also be held at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai.
Petition prays for not shifting the IPL venue, but they should give a penalty to the Maharashtra government to arrange for the infrastructure for delivering water to these drought-affected districts.
MCA has contended that what they're using, the water that they're using is unpotable water and is bought by tankers to the stadiums. However, we did ask them about the source, to which nobody replied. They hadn't sought instructions from the MCA. So the court has asked them to file their say tomorrow.
In more sports news, India defeated Japan in the opening match of the Sultan Azlan Shah Cup hockey tournament in Malaysia today. India came from a goal behind to register a 2-1 victory. Japan took the early lead as Kenji Kitazato scored in the second quarter to make the scoreline 1-0. However, it was short-lived after Harmanpreet Singh sounded the board to make it 1-1 before half-time. In the third quarter, India took the lead from captain Sardar Singh's goal in the 31st minute to make the scoreline 2-1 and maintain the lead till the end. India will play world champions Australia in the next fixture on Thursday.
Back to Rupinder. You wonder if Japan will regret missing that penalty corner. You suspect they're going to have to...
And now let's get you some more action from the world of sports in Sports Speed. Indian shuttler Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu today progressed to the second round of the Malaysia Open. In the opening round, third-seeded Saina defeated Thailand's Nichaon Jindapal 21-16, 21-7, while Sindhu beat China's Bingjiao He 21-16, 21-17 in the other match. Luis Suarez scored twice as Barcelona fought back to beat a 10-man Atletico Madrid in the Champions League quarter-final first leg. Fernando Torres then gave Atletico a crucial away goal in the 25th minute, but the striker was sent off 10 minutes later. Defending champions Barcelona upped the tempo after the break, with Suarez scoring twice in a space of 12 minutes. Both the teams will meet for the second leg on the 13th of April. In the other quarter-final match, German champions Bayern Munich edged past Benfica by a narrow 1-0 victory. Arturo Vidal scored the solitary goal of the match in the second minute. Bayern, who have reached the semi-finals every year since 2012, will now travel to Portugal for the second leg on the 13th of April. And that's all we have for you on the news tonight. From the entire team here, good night.